I'm going to teach you how to build your very own app and deploy it in 10 minutes or less without any coding involved, and it's going to be free. Are you ready? Let's start right now. Okay, before I begin, I'll just explain the basics. I'm using Replit. You can get a free account. Basically, you type in what you want here and you can create it. I made something like this, Asana clone, literally just seeing what it could do. And here is the output from literally probably less than 10 minutes. I have subtasks in here. And I can check, a task done or not done. It created a mini Asana in literally less than 10 minutes, which blew my mind. I was like, wow, I can really do this. I can create a new task like this is actually usable, and I can deploy this. So I want to do that with a new app in less than 10 minutes. Try that out. You can follow along and see how good Replit is. Replit is a no-code. You don't need to know how to code to build an app. So super cool. Okay, without further ado, let's start the timer. Let's get in here. I have an image of an app I want to copy. This is going to be a Bible verse app. And what I'm going to do is get a prompt as quickly as I can. I'm going to go to my prompt whisperer and say, I don't need this part. Boom. Here we go. We're going to click start building. Okay, so in about 30 seconds, I got a plan that it wants me to prove add Bible verse API integration for real verse. I don't know if that's a real thing, but it does really good with APIs and like setting them up for you. You just have to get your API keys, which in general are free and easy to get. Pretty much like Google around and you can find them. We'll see what happens. So what's going to happen is now you're inside of the agent view where the agent is basically doing its best, and it's going to like literally build it out before your eyes. So it's saying I need to understand. Okay, I told it that. It's going to give me a visual preview in 2 minutes or less, in the first app version in less than 10 minutes. We're obviously a little under time to get that first app version, but we'll see if we can get a working version in around 10 minutes. And then basically each checkpoint, I believe, is how you get charged. So I am on a paid version. Yesterday I was completely free and I used 25 checkpoints, which I was able to build about 3 or 4 little apps, and they all were actually really impressive. It is pretty interesting. There's a lot of views here. You can see all the code that is being created, and it's just like doing all of this. I don't know how to code, and it's out here just building me an app. Now, this is going to be a web version app. You can push this to mobile, to like iPhone and Android. Definitely can't do that in 10 minutes unless you're a beast or, have some tricks up your sleeve. Okay, so we got 3 minutes on the clock, and this is how we're looking. Not incredible. Basically, it got an output. Now let's say all right, so we got a 1, 2, 3 in there. That's about as now I'm thinking as I could get, and just trying to get it out quick. I'm basically trying to fix this so it doesn't have like this weird image. It like used the old app in the background, so I want a different background. I could have worded that differently. Obviously, these buttons aren't going to work right now. This UI is working. I like this. If this gets fixed, and then this image needs to be fixed, and then I wanted to actually hook up my ChatGPT API key to here. Okay, we are technically out of time, so that was 10 minutes of actual work. We got it actually looks pretty good. This was literally 10 minutes. So I'm going to keep on going because an app generally is going to take longer than 10 minutes, but I want to show you the power of what you could do with literally actual 10 minutes. I didn't fake anything. Now I'm just going to go into a stopwatch mode and time how long it takes me to get this kind of really working to an extent that I think it would be a very basic version of the app. Obviously, to really finish an app, get it published to the iOS store, it's going to take more than 10 minutes. The next thing I think I want to do is make it so this is I would make it so every day there's a new Bible verse there, but we don't need that yet because we're only doing one day. I just want to make it so the homepage really just like looks good and works. By the way, you get a rollback here feature. If you mess something up, you could always roll back your data there to that section. And I believe this is cost, let's see, 1, 2, 3 rollbacks. For $25, you get a 50. Actually, it's really confusing how the billing works. 25 cents a checkpoint. So we use 75 cents to build this app so far, which I would say is pretty cheap. All right, so let's do next thing here. We could add a database. We don't need that yet. One. So I basically am getting this interpret and share button working, and then I'm seeing if this works. So this actually is hooked up to my ChatGPT, which is really cool. Like, literally just gave it a prompt, or like I gave this a prompt and it's working because I prompted Replit to get ChatGPT working. So you'll see here the agent encountered an error while running. I haven't actually found any bugs it couldn't figure out, which is really surprising because so many AI things I've used in the past, like they just get stuck, and Replit hasn't really gotten fully stuck. Now, disclaimer again, I haven't built crazy apps with this. If you really start building some complicated stuff, I assume you're in for a large learning curve and a headache, and you know, some real work ahead of you. I don't think this is going to replace devs, but if you have a dev then working with this, you could probably save even more money because they're going to understand and they could probably go into the code. So something I'm going to do while I'm waiting for that bug to resolve is I'm going to go over to ChatGPT. I want to get this begin functionality working. So I'll show you what happens in the app if you press begin. I should be screen sharing this, but whatever. Then there's a slider on how you're feeling with God, your relationship with God today. And then you choose that, and then you press continue, and it goes, I understand, basically based on what you select, and then it gives you like a personalized devotional. So this is definitely, I want to try to build this because this is the most like complicated thing I've done with Replit. And then you got to go to continue to prayer. So I'm going to try to get ChatGPT to first give me like a good prompt based on these images. I'm going to try to explain what happens. So this is finished, added Bible verse interpretation. Let's actually test this first. Let's interpret this verse, Jeremiah 20. So knew the verse 29:11, profound hope and reassurance. Yeah, plans to give you hope in future. Cool. So that worked. Share. Oh my gosh, does this actually work? No way. Yeah, honestly, what's surprising about Replit is like what works right away. Like I was like, okay, can I get it to charge money? Literally like create a subscription, and it did. It like connected to my Stripe with an API and had a page for someone to be able to buy and like get an upgrade when they bought. Look at this. WhatsApp is just connected. Just boom, like that. Okay, let's send an email with this. I don't know what that's going to look like. Holy moly. Now, I don't know where this link's going, but that works. That's insane. That is that's crazy. So I prompted ChatGPT with these images and what I wanted. I got a prompt back from ChatGPT, and I didn't quite like it. Like, it wasn't quite right. A lot of it was, but I wanted like the beginning, like where it starts, clicking the begin button, and end, like how to get back to this page. And then I'm just going to try pressing enter, and let's see what happens. We are currently 17 minutes plus 10, 27 minutes into building this app right now. Now let's see what Replit has done. I've implemented the daily flow with emotional states in ChatGPT generated devotional. Well, let's see if it works. Click begin. Oh my God. Oh my God. That's ironic. It works. All right, let's see if we actually, let's not celebrate yet. Deep connection. Let's click and see what happens. Okay, the devotional didn't work. Let's click tap to. Oh, hold on. It actually did get my deep connection. All right, hold on a second. I'm ready to continue to prayer. I just needed to click tap to open. Okay. Heavenly Father, we come before your hearts. Yeah, this is crazy. Okay, it gave us a prayer. Now we're going to press and hold to say amen. It worked. Let's see what happens with the prayer, and then let's see if we do disconnect it again. Does it come up with something different each time? I feel like you were feeling lost, disconnected. Yeah, it's different each time. So cool. And it has a Bible verse for us. The Lord is in here. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. All right, so I see like a tiny little thing here. Okay, so it says it finished it. Let's see what happened here. Okay, it did not get the image right. It did get the animation for holding down. I like that. So I want to basically add a database and a profile so that we can get the user's name. We can basically, they can log in and out. Well, they're not going to be able to log in and out yet, but basically we'll be able to store their user streaks and name. I want to add a cross icon. We'll see if it does this well. If it can't do the icon, we'll figure out icons later. Now, one thing I'm noticing is these screenshots like aren't labeled, so I don't know if it knows what is what, but we're just going to do it as lazy as possible and see if it works. And we're going to have a way they can upload their image just because I want to see if it can do that. And yeah, let's see how this does. Okay, so it's saying the application has been updated. I do see a profile. It's not getting images right now. I'm going to have to figure that out, but we're getting the bulk stuff done, which I'm happy with. All right, let's see if this profile works. Can we actually add an image? Okay, we can add an image from our computer. Okay, we're getting the error, user not found. So it's not storing my username, so I'm going to try, or like it's not storing, like I don't have a username yet. So I think that needs to be like the first step, and then it will say user not ID not found. We're going to try that. And then, so hopefully we'll be able to upload our image and our name, and then activity. We'll see if this actually works. Oh, wow, it actually put a button back to our, that's actually good UI. You can also go back, which is also good UI. Okay, and it's just working on the error. We'll see if it fixes that. I don't know how long it's been, but you can see the timer up here. It basically had an error when it made the login page. This is me trying it again for the first time, or second time. The first time I didn't show, it basically just had an error, and I forgot to record. All right, so it's having registration. Okay, username already exists. Okay, so it's still not working. Let's just put this in here and say there is still an error. I need to be able to log in. Okay, and we're back. Let's see if this works. Let's try to log back in actually. Let's see. That's not gonna work. It should give me an error because I don't have like a, yeah, that's fine. We're not trying to do everything today. Let's make a new username, see if it works, logs me in. All right, Cool. Yeah, so it's the same verse ever. It's not doing a new verse, which is great. Can we go to the profile? Can we upload an image? Okay, image works. Crazy. Okay, I can change my name. Cool. It's not really a check button, but oh, all right, fair enough. It is. Edit my info. Yeah, it's not perfect UI, but I'm not hating it. Can I log out? Okay. So let's just have a sign in, kind of register normal thing, and then we'll finally do the last thing I want to do. Okay, like magic, we got a register and login button, and we also just decided to give us a nice little what it is. All right, so I think we got it working pretty well. Let's log back in. It gives us a weird error for a second and then goes away. I'm not gonna, just for the sake of my own brain today, I'm not gonna fix that right now. It's definitely been the least smooth in this registration page, but I'm happy that we're actually getting somewhere. I can log out and I have my profile. So let's do the last finishing touches. Basically, I'm going to service and community and prayer icons. Please act functionality when you press them. And here's the mock-up. Cool. I'm going to do this, and then we should have. So we just did that. Basically, what I'm trying to mimic is when you press this, basically build this page, which is just kind of a chat bot. Really, I think pretty simple. So we'll see if it can build that out. And I was going to change one image and then be done for today because I wanted to see if it could actually like update images. It made these, you know, it is cool because it just like makes the images and everything for you, but I was having trouble changing images earlier, so I want to see if it is really hard to do or like there's another technique that I need to know. So let's see. All right, so in review, let's see how long it took us and what we got done, and let's actually deploy this so it's a usable app. So this took an hour 22 plus 10, an hour 32, and we spent, let's see how much money we spent to build this app that I would say is pretty good for an hour and 30. This cost us $4.50, this app. Let's review what we built. We built a home page, a login page where you can log in or register. It also has some words to tell what the app's about. We got to fix that little bug. Then we have basically a Bible verse for today. That's like the main function. We never removed that. That doesn't work right now. We have a profile. We can log out. We also have streaks. We can interpret this Bible verse. And ChatGPT is actually hooked up and interpreting it for the person. We can make this even better, but it's pretty good. We can begin the journey and basically go through a devotional and a prayer. I mean, this is pretty extraordinary. For $4.50 and an hour and a half of your time, like, it's not perfect, but pretty good. We didn't do this week's topics yet, and we do have a ChatGPT functionality here. Lots of little things we could do to make this better, but I'm really happy with what we got. Let's go over what I learned. Replit is extremely powerful and honestly pretty cheap. For a normal dev, like if I wanted to hire someone to build that app, just the web app, at least $1,000 for that. And that might seem crazy. Apps cost a lot of money, or at least they did. That's like an MVP app. Obviously, there's a few things to clean up. I think I could clean it up in 1 to 3 hours and make it like all the things actually work and not have any bugs. I'm going to work. The thing I learned on, you definitely want to like give it one thing at a time, I think, and get as specific as possible. I wasn't even trying with a lot of those prompts, and it did well. At one point, I had to roll back because I gave it like a not so specific prompt, and it didn't get that. It didn't understand it that well. And I basically just rolled back to an earlier version. So there's apparently a way you can save a checkpoint, so you can like once you have sign working, you can just always roll back there, which is obviously going to save you a lot of time. Registration and sign in definitely took a while. It took like almost like 45 minutes of the time, I think. It was a long time, so that's definitely a hard part. But yeah, I'm super excited about Replit, and only going to get better from here. Whether it's Replit or another app, I think you're going to be able to build real apps and deploy them like to iOS, Android with a click of a button at some point soon, which is crazy. So very excited for that. Stay tuned, like and subscribe if you like this video. If you stuck around this long, I would really appreciate it.